6th year, this is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network. Talk like you've never heard it before.
The Ramble with Alex Bennett. Tonight at 10:30 Eastern on GabNet.
Spotify has 180 million monthly users and access to 35 million songs and podcasts. Now, all those offerings are going to have to move over and make room for GabNet programming. Yes, at long last, Alex Bennett's Ramble, Damian Chaplin's Exchange, Jack Bishop's The Intersection, and even the franchise MC's Arena and Michael Snyder's weekly movie reviews will be fighting for space on this massive platform. Each day, the programs are updated, so you can hear them on the Spotify app, available for all smartphones and game consoles. Or you can just go to Spotify on the web at spotify.com. So, give us a shot on Spotify. There's a 35 million to 5 chance we'll get people to listen to talk like they've never heard it before.
Jack Bishop's Intersection, tonight at midnight Eastern on GabNet.
Alex Bennett has been in broadcasting for 65 years, and in all those years, he has never run out of new ideas to play with the medium. Until now. Yes, Alex admits that he has run out of ideas at 80 years of age. So, from here on in, it will be the same old thing, which, considering his last great invention of the citizen panel, isn't half bad. It's a group of callers at the same time batting around the day's news and looking at social issues that affect us all, and best of all, arguing with each other. And then there is Alex himself, always the hypochondriac who hates Trump and a lot of other things that an old man complains about. And complains about. And complains about. Join America's old fart as he doesn't get any younger, Tuesday through Friday at 10 p.m. Eastern, right here on GabNet. Talk like you've never heard it before.
We're GabNet, and we've got you covered live 5 nights a week. First, on Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, it's The Exchange with Damian Chaplin.
For me, I have a bathroom that's connected to the office, and it's literally like right there. And in my job, I already wash my hands 10 to 20 times a day because I have a filthy job. I walk around and you touch a lock, and you have no idea how filthy locks are.
Tuesday through Friday at 10:30 p.m. Eastern, it's Alex Bennett with The Ramble.
By the way, what was the name of that? I was trying to remember the name of that. Those butt wipes from last night. What's the name of it again?
Brought to you by Dude Wipes.
Dude Wipes.
Feel fresh and clean and get rid of the stank.
Tuesday through Friday at midnight, The Intersection.
I prefer giving tips in cash versus a credit card. So I got $100 in cash today. Will I need it? I don't know. But one thing that I did do is I took each and every one of those singles and $5 bills, laid them out on my floor, and sprayed them with Lysol and flipped them.
If you like sports, we've got that too with The Arena, Wednesday nights at 8:30 p.m. Eastern.
The men's national team, they often have to deal with more unruly fans than the female national team does.
Catch up on all the shows with our weekend flashback. All shows have the Citizen Panel, an exclusive concept of GabNet. It's new, it's daring, it's talk like you've never heard it before.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19.
Furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters and this podcast.
Now in our 6th year, this is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Hey, this is the Ramble. I'm Alex, and we're here until midnight on the East Coast of the United States. Hey, look who's there.
Hey, Alex.
It's Stephen Kravitz as I live and breathe.
Hey, how are you?
As I live and breathe, which may not be for that much longer, but we'll just hope.
Yeah. Come on, you gotta outlive all of us.
Yeah, I guess.
You know?
Yeah, how's everything up there in Massachusetts?
It is colder than hell.
Yeah.
I have not seen my balls in 3 days.
Actually, Marjorie bought this for me
I like it.
for my upcoming birthday. Yeah, it's got a lining and everything, and it's just kind of really cool to wear on. It's like wearing a bathrobe.
No, it looks great.
Yeah.
I saw you putting it on.
Huh?
I saw you putting it on. I was going, that's a nice piece of clothing.
Yeah. She always buys me good stuff. She has great taste, you know. She always buys me really good stuff. So how you doing all together?
All together, I got some liver issues coming up.
What issues?
Liver.
Liver?
Yes.
What's the problem with the liver? Although I probably don't need to ask since you lived a rather rough life.
Yes. Well, I had hepatitis. Well, I have hepatitis C.
Okay, but that's curable now.
Right, but it's been dormant for 40 years.
Oh, you said that. You said that. You said that the last time. Yeah, that it's been dormant for 40 years, and now all of a sudden it decided to make itself known, huh?
Right. So I had an ultrasound last week, and I have another ultrasound on the 22nd.
Ah, okay. All right.
And my liver hurts. Ow, Uncle Alex, make it stop.
Ultrasounds don't hurt.
No, but my liver does.
But your liver does it hurt?
Yeah.
Really?
A little bit.
Okay. So hepatitis C is. I had a girlfriend once who had hepatitis C, and it was a bane on her existence because it limited what she could do. Okay? Right. And she always had to live with it. One day, recently, they came out with a pill, and it just does away with it.
Right, but they have to figure out what strain of hepatitis C you have before you can treat it.
I see. Okay, well, so you just got to go through all the testing and all that crap, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. It is kind of a pain in the ass because you just like them to tell you, this is what you got.
Right.
Okay.
Right. This is what you got. Take this, it'll go away.
You know, I mean, with my prostate cancer, there was this whole slow process. First, I went to a doctor and he said, well, you know, your PSA is high. We better watch it for 3 months. So that's 3 months. Then 3 months later, he said, well, we better take another PSA. And then he tested it for something else. And he said, we better do a biopsy because it looks like you could have prostate cancer. So then he did that. You know, one thing leads to another. Finally, I'm at the radiation stage and at the stage where I get the seeds. But it's just one thing after another. I guess they got to do a process of elimination, you know.
Right.
But still, it places a great deal of stress on you.
Absolutely, without a doubt. Like I'm not sleeping right now.
Yeah, because of this.
Pretty much, which is probably why I took a little nap on the couch.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if this is going to kill you. You know.
No. If what I've been through hasn't killed me yet.
Yeah. No. If you're A lot of us are amazed you're still alive, okay?
Yeah. I remember at one point the Durst little hint was, we're picking out dark clothing.
Oh, boy. Well, they was just trying to go like that to you.
Right.
You know.
So Will is posting on Facebook.
Is he really?
He just started posting. He put up a couple of jokes.
Oh, wow. I've got to, well, you see, I tried to call him yesterday, and I was having trouble because it was always when I'm doing FaceTime, it came back, could not be, call failed, okay?
Right.
And I didn't know why, and I tried it on every one of my things, that's iPhone, iPad, whatever. And so I finally wrote to her, and then she checked it out, and it turned out that he somehow had to change his password or something, and so I'm going to try calling him today.
Here's what I do, Alex. I have the same password for every single one of my programs.
Yes, and I did too. But then after a while, they all start saying, you got to change your password. This is not a safe password. You got to come up with a safer password. And they nag you. So I changed my password to a capital letter and an asterisk or something, or an accent.
Right.
You know,
and a question mark.
Because I've had the same password for the last 25 years, right? And I'm sure that anybody who wants to hack me already knows it. I don't care.
No, neither. What are they going to get from me?
It's the old Bubs line. You know, go ahead, steal my identity. You know, then you'll have no life.
How is Bubs? You talk to him soon?
Oh, yeah, I talk to him every 2 weeks. We do a little thing like this, yeah. Bubs is fine. Bubs is fine, except Bubs is getting squirrely from from this whole thing that we have going on here.
Yeah, we all are.
Which is a pain in the ass, you know. So, I'm getting past the point of COVID fatigue. I'm kind of like just deciding I'm never going outdoors ever again.
Yeah, but you gotta go outdoors.
Oh yeah, today? It's going to snow today.
It's going to snow tomorrow. Thanks so much.
Yeah, well then we're sending it over your way.
We're supposed to get a foot.
Yeah, we're supposed to get a foot. I think here. Is what they say. And for New York City, that's a lot.
That's a lot of
snow.
I
think last winter, we went without a snow at all. You know.
Really?
Yeah, it was pretty light last year. You know.
Yeah, well, it's picking back up for me.
Yeah. So of course you haven't been working, have you?
No.
Yeah, and all the clubs are closed, obviously.
Some of the clubs are reopening, but to tell you the truth, Alex, I'm not really into it right now.
You don't. In other words, you don't want to do the stand-up.
No, I love doing stand-up. Don't get me wrong. I just don't want to take a shower and schlep out to a club at 10 o'clock at night while people get drunk. I'm not.
Yeah.
Not into it right now.
Yeah. So
making people laugh, though, come on.
There's nothing better than that.
No, you can't beat that.
No. I often said that actually making an audience laugh was almost better than sex. But it is a lot like sex because you're trying to satisfy your partner.
That's it.
And with an audience,
you're
trying to,
Right.
And also, I always found with sex that I love the power to be able to make someone come.
Yes.
Okay? The reason being, and I know a lot of guys aren't that way, I was that way because it was the showman in me. Because that was my sense of approval of what I was doing. So when I would go out and make an audience laugh, which I wasn't a stand-up, but still I did stuff on stage, okay?
Right.
But when I would make them laugh, or really laugh big, it was like me giving a woman an orgasm. And it all had to do with that you are how am I trying to put this? You are controlling someone else's emotion.
You're in charge.
Yeah, but you're controlling someone else's emotion. You're making them laugh. You're making them come.
Or as Durst would say, you make people laugh on purpose.
Yes.
Or how does he put it?
Yeah.
You make people laugh against their will, or something like that. Whatever it is, you make them laugh.
There's a certain power in that. You know,
yeah.
You know, and it's the same power
when you're
that
on a roll in a big house, then it's not you can't beat that. When you're on you play a big house so much different. Like, didn't we used to go down and play Palo Alto?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what we would play a lot?
Yeah. Oh, Palo Alto, you at the Keystone.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we used to do our shows.
That was like rock stardom.
Oh, because it was a huge crowd. How many was it in there? Maybe 600 people in there? Maybe more.
Whatever it said, we had that many people.
Well, the biggest audience that I ever had for one of my shows was at the Frost Amphitheater, where we did 9,000.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. And
now, you did Comedy Day, didn't you, in the beginning when there was like 30,000 people?
No, never did comedy. I never was involved in Comedy Day at all. I never was asked to, so I just didn't,
I don't know if I was asked to or if I just demanded to be on it.
Yeah. I mean, I would do it in an instant because Debbie Durst runs it now.
Oh, yeah.
And since she is the queen of San Francisco comedy, you do her bidding.
That is correct.
And I don't say that in any negative way, okay?
No, she's the matriarch of comedy.
Right. And I think we mentioned before that they kind of took some people on almost as their children. I talked to her once about this on the show, and she said, yeah, it's kind of like, they were our children. We didn't have any children, so we raised them.
Well, I call Will and Debbie mom and dad.
Yeah.
I mean, I call them mom and dad.
Yeah. Well, Dad's still in the hospital. I mean, I talked to him, and as I said, I've had trouble the last couple of days talking to him because he's something wrong with his iPad, but now he's got it working again, so I'm going to try him again today. He is, it's strange. He's completely lucid, has all his comedy chops, all of that. It's just part of him doesn't work physically.
That's right.
And that's got to be frustrating. That's got to really be frustrating. I mean, I can't imagine it.
Well, that's why I was so surprised when he posted a joke.
Yeah.
Because Debbie told me he can't get I think it's his left hand he has trouble going with.
It's his left side, both his left leg and his arm.
Right.
That have been, but he's getting some of his hand back, she says.
Right, so he's typing, because he wasn't going to type until he could use both hands.
Yeah. This is a very slow process, I might add. That strokes aren't something that you go, okay, we'll do a little calisthenics here, and we'll do a little physical therapy, and you're good to go. No, this is years and years and years, and it's all slow. And she wrote me about a week ago and said, it's going slowly, but it's going.
Right,
In other words,
right.
His hand is moving a little bit.
She has been so optimistic for the whole thing.
Yeah. He said to me, the main thing I'd like to do is be home for Thanksgiving, but he wasn't able to, But I mean, I hope he gets enough of his stuff back that he at least can write, which he loves doing.
Oh yeah, and he's very prolific.
Yeah, very prolific. He considers himself a writer first before anything else.
Right.
And then if it comes to stand up, I guess I'll maybe have to do sit down. But he still has all his speech and everything else. So it's just a matter of somehow being able to get him onto a stage. So.
Right. Well, you get an electric wheelchair and you put a ramp.
Yeah. And
big deal.
Yeah. And I told him, I said, so far as writing, you could dictate it, and he doesn't want to. He wants to write it. You know?
Oh, I can remember sitting in their living room and you're having a conversation with him. He's watching TV and he's typing at the same time. He's writing.
Yeah, yeah. You know, he doesn't want to do that. He's just says, that isn't for me. I don't want to do the dictation route. And I said, well, maybe that's what you got to do in order to do what you do for the time being, because you can't type with one hand and let the machine do the typing for you. Right?
There you go.
And it's all pretty accurate, this voice recognition. Hey, listen, we've run out of time, dear friend.
Right?
Yeah, this just goes by so fast with you. I'm amazed by it. But we'll talk to you again next week. How's that?
That works for me.
Ladies and gentlemen, his name, Stephen Kravitz. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you.
Bye.
The legend. Bye-bye.
Now in our 6th year, this is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Yes, and that was, of course, Stephen Kravitz, and he'll be back with us again next week. We love him. We love him. I'm so glad we added him to the mix because he's just perfect. He's idyllic. He's idyllic, I say. He's idyllic. Okay. Anyway, let me see here. Anything I got to talk to you about? No. I was worried that my washer was leaking before the show started. Something always goes wrong just before the show starts. We have this washer, and it leaks if you turn it on large. If you turn it on medium, it's fine. But then I found a puddle of water, but it wasn't coming from under the washer and dryer, so obviously it isn't from the washer and dryer. So I think what happened was girlfriend did a wash, and when she removed the wash from the washer to put it in the dryer, maybe some of the water splashed down on the floor, and that's what that was. But, and then I'm obsessed by those things for the rest of the show, and probably well into next morning. Anyway, we got a whole bunch of people waiting here to be part of our citizen panel. Well, at least 3 of them at this point. And who knows who will join us later, but let's go to them right now. Hello, everybody. How are you?
Hello, Alex.
Okay, there we go. Hello, Jeffrey. How are you?
I'm here, and it is snowing.
It is snowing. It's snowing up a bitch, as they say. And, of course, Charlie Wallace. Hello, Charles.
Hey, Alex.
And we'll add to the mix Brian Neary, who is joining here now. He should be here in just a moment. Come on. Poof, there he is. Okay. Hello, Brian. Mm-hmm. It's very, yeah. It's been snowing. How bad is it up in Connecticut, Jeffrey?
Oh, my son was out there a little bit, and I think it's over a foot.
Really? Really? It's pretty. It's getting pretty deep out in front of my place, So it's that time of the year, right?
I hate snow.
Why do you hate snow? I love snow.
I grew up in Chicago, and I was the youngest. I was the one that always had to shovel the snow. So I hate snow, and that's why I'm in Texas or Arizona or California, someplace warm.
I don't hate snow because somehow somebody else is plowing it for me. I hear it scraping outside. They put them on garbage trucks, the plows, and that takes care of it. But, we're talking to a couple of people here in California and in Texas, and what do they know about snow? Right, Alan?
Right.
Do you know any? Yeah, I can hear you fine. Do you know anything about snow?
No, never been in it.
You've never been in it. That's interesting because you're from California.
Yes.
And as a kid, I was never into snow till perhaps I was maybe 15, 16 years old. I'd never been in snow. And then it snowed in San Francisco. And we were like thrilled. We had snow. And so that was the first time I had ever seen snow. Then, of course, I moved to New York and I got to know what snow was like. In fact, I remember unrelenting snowstorms in New York City, unlike anything we're getting here now. I remember one, this is a true story. It was so bad that they then would plow it up and into huge mountains. Literally mountains that were on street corners, and they just pile them up. So we had a horrible snowstorm, and I was working at ABC, and I went into ABC, and there was a car parked in front of ABC, and the snow truck came along, the plow came along, and just plowed all the snow over the car, right? And I come out after the show, and there's this big lump where the car was, right? Because the snow had covered the car completely.
Okay.
Well, now I go back to work the next night, and it's still out there. Okay, but now it's getting a little harder because now it's not snowing anymore, and it starts becoming a big block of ice. And I'm figuring this car is encased in a block of ice now, and how is this person going to, until it melts? How's this person ever going to get his car out of there? And every night I would look at this lump out there, and the ice was starting to recede and starting to recede and eventually it receded, and there was no car there. And I figured the snow ate the car is what I figured. You know,
it snowed in Redwood City Hills, 1976. So was it around that time? In San Francisco, do you remember?
No, it actually, I remember it snowing at the beach.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes, at the beach. Now, occasionally it would snow on top of Mount Tamalpais.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, but that's, it's somewhat of an elevation, right?
Yeah.
But
Mount Hamilton.
Oh, and I remember it snowing at Stinson Beach. Yeah, but I mean, it was very rare. You know, and then kids go out, and they go crazy because they never did anything like this in their life. But they're also not prepared for it because they don't have the clothes for it or anything else. So anyway, that was my introduction to snow. But as you say, Alan, you've never been in the snow.
Never been in the snow.
Wow. I would have thought maybe.
Where I live in the Bay Area, it rarely snows here. And it's not a lot of snow.
Yeah, but I would have thought, for instance, upon occasion,
only 3 hours away.
You would have gone to the Sierra and, checked out the snow. But I guess you didn't.
Yeah, we grab a cabin every year.
Really?
Go up there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you can rent the cabin, and it's so cheap. So a couple of families, and we go all into it together.
Yeah.
So they have Mount Hamilton gets snow, on the ridge there, so that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then right above us is I forget how to pronounce it, but it's a big box up there. So this point, Mount Tam and Mount Hamilton, they used to use as radar points because they're the 3 highest points in the Bay Area and blah, blah, blah. But you can see from my house, you can see up on the Santa Cruz Mountain, up on the very top, there's this square. There's a building up there. And you go up there, and there's sort of a museum up there now. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Well, I just I was like you, Alan, until I reached a certain age, and then somehow I guess it was also because I went to work in Reno, and so I started to see snow.
There's no snow in Reno.
Well, no, but there is if you just start going up, the grade up to
the summit,
summit over to you go over the Mount Rose summit. And Mount Rose Summit, that got snow. I mean, it got a lot of snow. So,
I tried to talk Phil into joining us tonight, but that's a no-go.
Why is that?
I don't know why. He says he's been there, done that.
Yeah, well, we found a new way to expose him. And
exactly. He's admitting to more.
And he seems to prefer that, the way we're doing it.
Yeah, he likes that. It gives him Tuesday a half hour, just you and him.
Yeah, and it people say it sounds really good, that they enjoy it.
It does, and especially now that he's calmed down about Trump.
Well, I mean, what he has to,
No, he doesn't.
There is no hope for Trump left. Okay.
Yeah.
Although Trump still says
he's asking his people. If they want to support him to run in 2024.
Isn't it a little early?
Well, yeah, that's I thought that too, but I don't know why this guy's such a masochist.
Well, he needs more money.
Yeah. I mean, it's the only job he has is running for political office now. And I think he got somewhat addicted to power. You know, I think that's the thing he's going to miss is the power. I mean, whatever power he thought he had, he didn't really exercise.
You know, when he was pretty powerful, he had his own TV show. He's got his own golf courses. He's got his own private 767 jet. I mean, you know.
No, I don't think he has that jet. Does he still have that jet? Yeah, he does, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think so. Otherwise, how's he going to get around?
I'll bet you after this is over, he's broke. I'll bet you.
Mar-a-Lago doesn't want him anymore, right?
Yeah, I heard that. I saw that in the news today.
Well, all the neighbors are causing the big hubbub. They don't want him around there. Pretty funny.
We don't want you here. You know, when people in Florida tell you they don't want you, you know, you're pretty much toast. You know? Yeah.
Well, he's not Jewish.
Hey, folks, we could use some more callers here. Where are you? You know, we did that show, on Monday. We had 15 people.
Yeah.
Without even breathing heavy. You know.
Fun show.
Huh?
Well, what time are you on Monday?
Monday we go on at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. We do this little
1 o'clock. 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock your time.
1 o'clock.
Yeah, Brian, I'm not up at that hour.
Yeah, but we do this little.
At PM?
I started this little thing for the fun of it because I just figured I'd do it for my other machine, and we could do it on Zoom and go directly to Facebook because they have a direct connection to Facebook. And I just thought we'd do it and see what happened. And all of a sudden, I mean, it's like tons of people call it. And the amount of people that watch it after the fact eclipses anything we do here, you know.
It's different people, too. It's pretty cool. It's different people.
Yeah, and it's a different mood.
We don't talk politics.
Brian's probably the only one that has employment.
Huh?
Out of this group.
Well,
I'm gonna make an assumption that Brian's the only one that has an employment.
Well, you know something, I think you're right.
Where the rest of us are retired.
We're retired. Well, how old are you, Alan?
Well, I'll be 62 in the end of December. We had that discussion last night.
And so you are retired.
I'm retired.
Yeah. Well, you were with the police department.
Yeah, but I've done other jobs since then. I got hurt on the job there, and you know, when you're hurt on the job, you know, you're damaged goods. Time to get rid of you. When you're not, you're Superman. That's the way they think he is. So
yeah, that's in the security business, right?
In law enforcement and firefighters too. You know.
Well, you're a pretty big guy. I mean, I'd hire you for security.
Yeah, well, I'm actually a pretty good shot too.
Well, I don't want you shooting anybody in my name.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
You know. I had years ago, I had a bodyguard when I was working in San Francisco. And why did I have a bodyguard? A couple of incidences where we were a little afraid of what happened. So just to be on the safe side, when I would go do a major public event, I had this guy who was my bodyguard, and he was carrying a gun in his boot. You know, but he told me
kind of a strange place.
The main thing you do as a bodyguard, you know, people these rappers and stuff, they get their posse and they get their bodyguards and they're all around them and you see the bodyguards, you know. And he said, we don't do that. He said, you don't want anybody to know you've got a bodyguard. That's what I'm here for. If they know that I'm a bodyguard behind you, they're going to take me out first and then take you out. You know, said, I'm going to walk behind you. Nobody's going to know that you've got a bodyguard. And that was the way we did it, you know.
So with all the high tech in the Bay Area, a lot of the high-end people in businesses are a high risk of kidnap, traveling and stuff. And so they usually have a protection detail, executive protection. And a lot of these guys are retired cops, retired Navy SEALs, you know, that type of stuff. There are a couple guys that go shooting with Phil and I that do executive protection for a large corporation here in the Bay Area.
But do they have the same philosophy? You don't make yourself too present as security?
You know, they dress in a suit and tie, but you know, they probably carry a backup gun in their shoe or on their ankle, but they carry, you know, a primary gun concealed on them.
Yeah.
A big gun. Yeah. You know, like a 1911 style.
Those jobs must pay well.
Oh yeah. These guys are, I don't know, $250,000 a year. But these guys are, you know, I mean, they have a lot most of these guys have been on SWAT or, that type of stuff. They're used to getting in the fray, so to speak.
Yeah.
They're trained in martial arts, a lot of them, just through their training. And, and they're good shots too. I mean, to protect an executive from some big corporation around here that needs the protection, if somebody's going to try and kidnap them, you got to be ready. It's usually a team when they go out of country or somewhere else, a team of 4 or 5 guys. And,
Wow.
you got to be ready for anything. You got to be ready to arrest somebody or to call the police or to, if it gets into a situation, shoot somebody.
But then again, most of the time, nothing happens at all.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
But you want people, if you're a high risk of getting kidnapped or extorted or something like that, you want a good security team. You want people that are armed, that know how to use the weapons, know how to use their head. You don't want Joe Schmo security guard down the road with a nightstick or something like that.
When we used my security, his job was, of course, to watch out for me, because we had some incidences that were kind of scary. And it wasn't that I was the kind of person people threaten, but when you're well known, people tend to, what's the word I'm going, try to make trouble.
Sure.
Okay. And also, he had a double purpose, another purpose too. I had a signal for him, and I wanted to be able to be touchy-feely with my public. In other words, I wanted to be able to talk to my fans and so on. So if I was at some kind of event, I wanted to be able to kind of mingle with them and talk with them and so on. But some of them would then start talking my ear off more than I would want to, and I'd want to get out of the situation, and I had a signal, which I think it pulled my ear or something like that. And at that point, he would come over to me and say, "Alex, we need you over here right now."
There you go.
And get me out of it. So he had that purpose as well.
So these guys on these details are usually good with medical emergencies, anything from a bee sting, an anaphylactic shock on up to a gunshot wound or something like that.
Yeah.
So they're usually, some people on the team are tactical medics.
Yeah.
That type of stuff. They work like the Secret Service does with the president. They know a lot about this person. They know the medicines he takes, his health condition, his blood type. And if they're going into a foreign country, they get there before him, just like the Secret Service does, and they map things out.
Yeah, my guy in those days knew that
streets to get away from the bad guys.
In those days, my guy knew that if I had some kind of medical condition that suddenly hit me, to stick a Coke spoon up my nose.
There you go.
That was
perfect. I don't think these guys are doing that.
Yeah, no, I'm sure they're not.
If you're an executive in a corporation, probably shouldn't be eating donuts on TV, but that's okay.
Yeah.
I'm teasing you, Brian. Phil said I should Google you, and so I Googled you afterwards, and I'm not going to disclose personal stuff. I don't know what people know about you here, so they can Google you too.
What about Brian?
Brian.
Oh yeah,
sorry.
We know a lot about him. Maybe not everything.
Well, but he's an executive, and so I don't know if he's at risk of anything. But he probably, other people in the company might be.
Are you does your company feel they're at risk at all? Anybody? Brian?
No. But I mean, with all the stuff going on with COVID, you never know.
I began to wonder about, with all these vaccines out there and stuff, if there aren't going to be some UPS trucks hijacked.
So I guess what they're doing is the U.S. Secret Service, mainly, I take that back, the U.S. Marshal Service is protecting these flights and the medicine until it gets to the hospitals. So, and they're together. They got their stuff together. They're usually 2 guys at a time, and if they have to go through a bad neighborhood, they have tactical weapons and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, because I mean, I just would think that somebody would want to hijack those trucks.
Absolutely. Probably Brian's business, I think, is testing, versus the vaccines, and
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
a lot less chance somebody's going to hijack a truck full of testing medical equipment. I'm sure it could happen, but
yeah, because we also have our own instruments that we have to use for testing. So, the vaccine is a lot more valuable to the common person, but still, it's like, sort of bizarre, what they would do with the vaccine unless they would try to sell it to some other country or something. But,
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to inject myself.
Well, while we're at it, we haven't asked Dr. Doom to give us his daily report.
Okay.
How many seconds?
We set a new record, beating yesterday's record for COVID cases, and then we set a new record for COVID deaths today.
Oh, really? Where, in Texas or just in the United States?
The whole country.
The whole country? How many deaths?
3,784.
No.
Jeez.
No.
Yep, a death every 23 seconds.
Wow.
23 seconds, we just lost another American.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Let me look at my clock here.
They are claiming
dead.
The CDC put out a thing a week ago and said that 40% of the people that have died from COVID are in convalescent hospitals.
Oh, really?
And so that's why they're giving frontline workers and patients in convalescent hospitals the shot first.
Yeah, and that will help. Okay.
Absolutely.
But
we're almost 17 million cases.
Almost 17 million. I mean total in the United States.
Total, yeah. We're like 16,900,000 and something.
And where do we stand now in the world?
Oh, we're doubling everybody nearest.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, wait a minute. I got my my thing here. Hold on a second. Where is it?
I think Brazil's second.
Huh?
I think you're
Brazil's second with like 9 million.
I think you're right.
Like 9 million. I can't. Where is? Oh, here's my COVID map. Okay. Hold on a second. We'll see what the COVID map has to say.
I feel sorry for the healthcare people right now because people are being selfish, not wearing a mask, not taking care of themselves.
Yep.
And these doctors and nurses are working 14, 16 hours, no days off. It's very unfair to them.
Hospitals are full here in Texas.
Oh, they are here in California.
Oh, we've been joined by somebody new. Oh, no, that's Jeff. He's wearing a mask. Excuse me. U.S., almost 17 million. Almost 17 million. India is next behind us with almost 10 million. Brazil with 7 million.
Oh, India.
Russia, and with 2 million, they're not doing as bad. I mean, we're doing terribly. We're doing just terribly.
Part of it is the administration.
And here in New York, so far, we've had 35,927 deaths. Now, that's from the beginning when we had it really bad,
And we've got almost 25,000 deaths in Texas.
Yeah.
I don't know what you call really bad. I think this is a lot worse now.
Texas is number 2 in cases.
Yeah, except for the numbers are a lot higher.
24,920 deaths.
Yep.
Out in California, 21,817 deaths. Florida, 20,204 deaths. I mean, these were states that had just, a couple hundred deaths way back when.
Yeah, until July.
New Jersey, 18,000. But it turns out that New York is eclipsing New Jersey in cases. So we're back in the fight here of trying to see who can be number 1 with deaths. I mean we're still number 4 in the country from the bottom. Okay, so we're still okay that way, but man, I'm not going out. I'm not even. I'm not going to go out at all. And Marjorie's going to work to her office on Friday, and I keep saying, don't do this, right? You're just flirting with danger.
Yeah, we just got the machines for India. So we have India factory that we're opening that I'm in charge of all the manufacturing stuff, and China. So India, we have all the machines over there. We actually had to do videos because no travel, there's the travel ban. So we actually are we're doing some live sessions with them on how to run this stuff. And it's already hard enough for us to run it here. So,
but what happens? What happens to your business? Okay, what happened to my glasses? I don't know where my glasses are now. Yeah. What happens to your business if when the COVID thing is over with? I mean, are you guys dead in the water,
no.
or do you have other stuff you do?
It's
this
seasonal,
is what
so
he does, folks. That's the
cartridge.
It's the cartridge, and this you put the I guess you put the stuff in there. You put the Q-tip in there.
Pop that lid open, and there's the big hole. That's where the Q-tip, the swab goes.
Okay, wait a minute. Hold on a second. See it, folks? There we go.
Yeah.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's where the swab
You see it
goes,
online.
right?
Yeah.
And then
They've been in business a long time, though, Alex, and so I'm sure they're doing other.
Yeah, I mean, flu is seasonal, and it's still our biggest seller. I mean, still looking at MTB with Bill and Melinda Gates for Africa, and so this is not going to go away. We still know that they're going to be testing needed
Tony, turn your mic off when you leave the room to go talk to your mother. Hey, what's he saying?
I can mute him.
What's he saying?
Can you mute him?
Huh? Oh, I can mute him. Yeah, I could do that. Oh well. Tony, when you go
Thanks,
away,
Tony.
when you go away to talk to your mother,
know.
or more specifically to yell at your mother,
Listen,
it would be nice if you turned off your
Oh, I'm sorry.
mic. Yeah.
Did you hear me?
No, so we know.
I can hear you.
We can hear it.
Yeah, we know we'll be selling still for a long time.
Yeah.
Because we also combine the new assay that we have, the 4 respiratory, so we can tell the 3 major flu and then the COVID, so we can differentiate all 4 of those.
Let me ask you this: from what you have read, what I read was that this current cocktail or vaccine was discovered, say, I think something like 18 years ago. And they just been waiting for the right situation to come along to use it or to apply it or to adapt it. Am I right about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the technology they're using is the mRNA, which is really, really new high-tech stuff. So that's why we're able to get
in the
vaccine.
old days, they would give you a shot of the flu itself and let you build antibodies based on getting the shot you got. Now
With
that's
the DNA.
no longer the case. What this does is this just simply tells your body how to go after the stuff, you know.
Yeah, they describe it like they call it messenger RNA. So they're showing, they show like it goes up to the body and it'll show the DNA a picture of what the virus looks like, and then it'll run away, and then it knows what it looks like to fight it when it comes. So it sort of.
By the way,
it.
I don't want to interrupt you on that thought. We go right back to it, but if people listen, I'll turn my mic up. You hear that?
Yeah.
You know what that is? That's snow. That's snow.
Oh,
wow.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah. Glad I'm here.
I'm
glad I'm in Texas.
But you know what's nice? I'm glad I'm here because I'm inside. It's warm, it's nice, and it's horrid outside. But I'm inside. I'm not out there, you know?
You know what she just asked me? Is it still snowing out? Does she not hear what's going on?
Oh, are you getting the same sounds?
Yeah, I'm getting hail, Alex. It's just blowing. My mother has one of those old exhaust fans in the kitchen, and it's just whipping around like crazy.
Really?
Yeah, like one of those old fans that they don't even use it anymore.
Listen to that.
Yeah, it's really windy.
Is that hail or is that snow? It's got to be snow.
That sounds like hail, Alex. That's what I was going to ask you. I think that's hail.
Well,
open the window. Let's see.
Yeah, really. Take the camera. Let's see some snow.
You take that video. Remember, you had that camera. You had the camera outside the window. Remember?
Oh, here you go.
Well, I was thinking of putting a camera out. Oh, here we go. Here, Tony's going to do it. Wait a minute.
The bodega closed. It was still open.
There we go. Look at
God, that looks horrible.
Yeah, look at that.
No thanks.
See?
It's bad.
Oh. In the drive in that.
I never see it snowing.
It's time to turn the heater up.
Yeah. Look at
wow.
that.
I'm afraid of that.
Have the window open.
Have the window open.
We can see your monitor there. We can see your monitor there, but that's good. I was thinking of what I can do is I can actually in the other room I have some equipment too, and I can put the camera outside, okay, the window, and then I could turn a thing on so that I can play it in here, and then I could show you what was going on. But
we're getting a tour of Tony's house.
Well,
I'm taking to my mother's room.
Dining room.
Yeah,
she's got rollers in her hair right now.
Yeah, and the
We got
hideous,
Jeff's.
the hideous.
Like the last 2 weeks, we got Jeff's whole house.
Yeah,
I
we had
think
Jeff's
the garage.
Well, we saw the koi fish that's behind him.
Yeah. But anyway.
This is why I pick a room that doesn't have a lot of stuff in it. I'm in the kitchen and there's closets here, and over here is my pool table and pool room, but not a lot of stuff around. Unlike our host here, that's got 7 million videos in the background.
Well, believe it or not, that was the biggest waste of money I ever spent.
Yeah.
And the reason being that I don't know if I have a player that even plays those.
I have a lot of DVDs too.
I still have a DVD player.
I do have a couple of DVD players, but geez, I don't really need them.
You don't use them, but you have one.
Yeah.
So Brian, are you looking for somebody to carry your briefcase or something?
What?
Me? No.
Yeah.
I'm 6'4", so I'm already pretty big. So.
Are you 6'4"? See, we can't tell
I'm
how
6'4".
tall people
Yeah.
are. You wouldn't know that Tony's like 3'4".
I'm short, Alex.
How tall are you, Tony?
Me and my mother. I'm 5'7" and a half. I always say a half. My mother's like 5'3".
5'7" and a half. I see.
And a half.
Well, that's not bad.
My mother's like 5'3", Alex. She's short. We got a short family.
When you're a male and you're 5'7", you got to add that extra half an inch.
Yeah, not that it means anything, but yeah.
Well, yeah. It's funny that a lot of very famous actors are short.
Yeah.
Al Pacino's really tiny.
How small is that?
Robert Redford is under 5 feet tall, I think, something like that.
Really?
Or maybe, yeah.
No, he's not.
No, not Robert Redford.
Well, wait a minute. Let me see here. I will put
Okay,
this in.
look it up.
What I love about Google, the only thing I love about Google is you put in shortest
Al Pacino.
movie.
What's the guy that played Shane
actor
in the movie was real short.
Dustin Hoffman.
Dustin Hoffman's really small.
Short, yeah.
And wait a minute. Okay. Shortest movie actors. Who is the shortest movie star? Okay.
Mickey Rooney.
Wait a minute. The shortest men in
Rooney
Hollywood.
was pretty short.
Oh, the guy who's Mini Me. What's the guy's name?
Well, yeah. Okay.
The plane.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, famous short men. Well, I don't want them. These celebrities are shorter than you would think.
Are we talking about how
actors
high?
and movie stars?
Tall the
Okay.
guy is, or in other places?
Danny DeVito is 4'10".
Yeah.
Of course, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
My brother.
Woody Allen is 5'5". Elijah Wood is 5'6". They didn't even have to make him. They didn't have to make him look short in Lord of the Rings, did they?
I love Lord of the Rings.
Oh, right.
Tom Cruise 5'7".
Yeah.
Al Pacino 5'6". Mike Myers 5'8". Ben Stiller 5'7". Dustin Hoffman 5'5".
Wow.
Scott, let's see here. Martin Freeman 5'4". Johnny Galecki of Big Bang Theory 5'5".
yeah.
5'5".
We're midgets.
I think when he was playing opposite the woman who plays Penny, they had to put him on a box or something. Simon Helberg is 5'6". Looks like they were all proportionate to each other on that show.
That's how come you didn't know. Yeah.
Let's see here. Who else? Giancarlo Esposito is 5'8". Martin Scorsese. Ready for this?
Sure.
5'3".
Yeah, he's short, yeah.
Emilio Estevez, 5'4.5". Joe Pesci, 5'3".
Oh my God.
Jet Li, 5'6". Let's see here. Anybody else of any big name here? Let's see here. Zach Val. No, we don't care about Zach Val. Martin Sheen, 5'6". Nathan Lane, 5'5". Billy Crystal, 5'6". Jesse Eisenberg, 5'7". Frankie Muniz, 5'4". Rob Schneider, 5'3".
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't remember him being that tiny, but you know.
Oh, Robert Redford
You know
was
what I know is
5'10".
I look at my old pictures from elementary school, and the shortest kid was the one. We were always the one holding the board, like class of say 79. I was always in the front. Son of a bitch, I used to say.
Really?
Yeah, because the short kids were in the front, because then it'd be easy to see it.
No, okay.
Well, they always made it that way. If I show you like the old photos, it's like the shortest ones are in the front.
Yeah, but so they're
Speaking of short people, Tom Cruise. You see Tom Cruise exploding on his movie set. I guess some people weren't following COVID procedure. I guess.
Right, they weren't wearing masks and things like that. Good for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I'm telling you, the risk people are taking is just. I mean, I hate to be on this every night, folks, but it's just amazing to me. Come on. It's not difficult to wear a mask. The Lone Ranger does it for... No, it's up here. I'm sorry.
I don't think everybody that's getting COVID is not wearing a mask. I think the more you're in crowds, be it work or in a mall or shopping or whatever, the more risk you're going to have. Masks are not 100%.
I disagree with you on that. I mean, yes, you're going in a mall is certainly got its risk factor, but if you're wearing a mask and everybody else there is wearing a mask, the chances are pretty small. You really cut the percentages down. But the fact is, it only takes one or two people not wearing a mask to start causing a problem. But it's just that everybody just wear a fucking mask for the time being till this thing's over with. Let's minimize the damage, but it just keeps going up and up and up and up. They say we'll be up to 400,000 dead by New Year.
Yeah.
Come on, yes, Jeff. Oh, turn on your mic, Jeff.
Brian, did you always wear masks at the factory?
Yes, in the controlled environment rooms, we started wearing masks when we started making flu, because we're afraid somebody's going to cough in there. Because we wear all the PPE because we're protecting the cartridge from us. So we want to make sure. I mean, I used to get pictures from our customers with like a cartridge with a hair in it before. God, so embarrassing. But yeah, then we went into full gear. But this was like 10 or 12 years ago when we started doing flu. We started doing masks. But then we got into masks like even outside the rooms pretty quick when COVID hit. Wow. And we've been really good. We've only had 2 people at the very beginning. I mean, you're talking about at least 1,000 people. 2 people at the very beginning that had it, and then one person just lately they had to do a super clean on one area, but it's been pretty tight at our work, and we have a lot of people going around. But
well, let me bring up something that was brought up on another show the other night. There's only one other show, really. I mean, we have a couple of others, but the Jack show, and he asked the question, "What's the worst movie you ever saw?" And I thought about it, and I went, you can't ask that question. I mean, maybe worst movies you've ever seen, but the worst movie you ever saw? Here's the problem with the worst movie you ever saw. It's worth watching because it's so bad. Right? So how can you say the worst movie is the worst movie? The worst movie is the one that's the most boring. And I think that would be anything with Tyler Perry in it, I would imagine, I have yet to watch one of those Medea movies. Has anybody watched those things?
No.
Okay, well, I'm proud of this group then, But no, I was saying about it, you can't really say what's the worst movie, because I know some terrible... I mean, like, they say, for instance, they always make a big deal about Plan 9 from Outer Space being the worst movie ever made. But it isn't the worst movie ever made, because the guy didn't have money, okay? So he had to do it on the cheap. And if you're going to do it on the cheap, it's going to be pretty terrible. But that's what kind of gives it its charm, as it were. However, take a movie where they spent millions upon millions of dollars. They had as much money as they could possibly spend to throw at it, and it still was terrible. I mentioned, of course, Heaven's Gate. Did anybody ever see Heaven's Gate?
Sure.
I have never been able to get through it. I mean, this is maybe, you want to talk about a terrible film? When you got a lot of money to spend and you fuck it up, that's a bad movie. Not some guy who had 30 cents to make a film with and, you know.
How about one of the best movies you've ever seen?
I can't say that either, because what kind of movie? You know?
Schindler's List.
Nah, not even close. Not even close. Nah.
When you can get a country to apologize for what they did, even though they knew what they did, I think that's big.
Well, I don't think he got any, but did he get the country to apologize on that one?
Germany. He had a private showing in Germany, and the Chancellor of Germany apologized again, or apologized for what Hitler did.
Somehow, considering the enormity of the crime, apologies don't really work.
Well, yeah, but 50 years later,
Yeah.
I don't know.
No,
I thought that was
I don't,
it's one of the better movies I've seen.
Well, no, when we talk about great movies, I mean, people, for instance, who say, well, let's talk about the greatest movies you've ever seen, and they start naming pictures like, Schindler's List, or they'll mention some other picture and whatever. But none of these people ever saw silent movies, so they really don't have a large list to choose from.
That's true.
Because I got to tell you, you go back to the silent films, and I'll tell you one of the greatest films ever made was a film called Sunrise, which was a silent film that I love to watch. When I saw, and there was another one. What was the one about the oh God, my mind's. It was done by. I'm out of it. Why can't I remember it? It's ridiculous.
It happens to all of us. Welcome to your
Jesus, this one, and it's one of the best films ever made. I mean, it just agreed. Eric von Stroheim directed it, and it is just an amazing film. Just an amazing film. And these are silent films. The Big Parade may be the best war movie ever made, but they're all silent films, so nobody ever adds those to a list. Because people just don't watch them. Oh, I don't want to watch silent films. They're boring. Well, if you see them with good music and projected at the proper speed, like Marjorie would have to agree with me that the greatest experience we ever had in a movie theater is we went over to what's that big theater over in Oakland? The
Paramount?
The Paramount. And they were having a showing of the silent film Napoleon, which is, are you ready for this? 5.5 hours long.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. 5.5 hour silent film. They took a dinner break about a little more than halfway through. And at the end, and they did it with a live orchestra conducted by Carl Davis, who is this guy who does great scores for old silent films. And we sat there, and Marjorie went, well, I'll just go with you because I'm your girlfriend. And we'd gotten married that weekend. She said, I'll go because I want to share something with you. And we went. She said, I wasn't bored for a second. And then when we were at dinner, she said, I can hardly wait to get back and see the rest of this thing. And at the end, it opens up on 3 screens like Cinerama did.
So you developed
yeah, this is a silent film done by a director by the name of Abel Gance. And so when you say, what's the best movie you ever saw? That's the best movie experience I've ever had in a theater.
You just like the pipe organ that was there.
No, it wasn't a pipe organ. It was an 80-piece orchestra.
There's a pipe organ.
Well, I know they have a pipe organ there.
100 years.
Yeah. But I mean, it was
He
amazing.
has a movie poster, Alex.
What?
At his house. He has a movie poster. It's nice at his house of that.
Of Napoleon? Yes, he bought one.
The artwork is really nice.
Shecky was with me.
Napoleon was short too.
Yeah, It was a long picture about a short guy. You know?
Yeah.
I think music and movies and all that stuff, it's what you like is the best. I mean, I remember, Alex, you used to get mad at like the reviewers. Live on the Fight used to get mad at the reviewers because they say, this person went to go see this movie and they probably don't even like comedies, or they don't even like that.
Yeah, I saw a review once by one reviewer who said, "Oh, I don't like science fiction pictures." But, and then he was sent out to review like Star Wars or something like that. And I'm going, if you know this guy doesn't like science fiction movies, why are you sending him out to review it? Send somebody out who knows this kind of film and cares about it, you know.
I like to listen to, in the Bay Area, I don't know what happened to her, Jan Wall.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
She would do reviews here in the Bay Area on
I think it was KGO.
On radio stations, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I liked her take on stuff.
Yeah. It's just that, I mean, I don't know. I just always had a whole thing about reviewers and that really what you got to do with reviewers is you got to find a reviewer that has your taste.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then pay attention to that reviewer, because the other reviewer might not have your taste, and so they're not going to have the same opinion of a film. You know what got me, though? What got Marjorie and I for a while, we would say, well, what should we go see this weekend? We go to Rotten Tomatoes, and they give something like a 95, right? And then we go to see it, and it sucked.
I used to do that.
And we
too.
went, is there something wrong with us? I mean, are we just, getting too old for this or whatever? It just was horrible. So we don't pay attention to Rotten Tomatoes anymore, because who cares if it got 100% on Rotten Tomatoes? If I didn't like it, that's all that mattered, because I put out the money for it. So, but years ago, I became a big expert at trivia. I don't know if I can play it that much anymore. Movie trivia. And you know how I got to learn movie trivia? Every night I was working in Chicago, and every night when I got off the air, I would go down to the Old Town in Chicago, and I would meet up with a guy who owned a movie theater in Chicago that showed 2 new films every day, and they were old films. And you could always go down there and see something that was a real gem. He just knew his movies. And his good pal and he used to go down to this bar in the Old Town and literally play trivia about movies with each other, batting back and forth questions. So I just sat there and listened to the two of them doing this. And after a while, I became an expert too. And I started joining in, and I would then read on it, and I'd go down to meet with them, and I'd have something that I figured, they don't know this one, And the other guy was Roger Ebert.
Oh, Roger Ebert.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And Roger really knew a lot about movies. I mean, he really knew his movie trivia. And I learned my movie trivia from Roger Ebert. So
I think a lot of people, if they don't like the disc jockey on a radio station, move on too.
Well, yeah, but the thing is that you could say, well, his music is not my taste. But the fact is, he doesn't choose his music.
Yeah, so
that hasn't gone on for years, where the jock came in and brought his music library in and played it on the air.
I remember those days.
Yeah, but they went away pretty fast. So now all of it. Here is the thing I used to love about radio stations. They go, call us up with your requests.
Right.
Okay. And then people would call up and request me songs. And, they didn't listen to anybody about what they wanted to hear.
Home in bed by the time the song.
But what would happen is, let's say you wanted to hear the Rolling Stones, right? Jumpin' Jack Flash. And you call up and say, Jumpin' Jack Flash. And within an hour or so, or 2 hours, you hear Jumpin' Jack Flash. You think, they did my request. No, they didn't. They had a playlist, and it simply came up, But it was the biggest con in the world. Call us and tell us what you want to hear. They never played what you wanted to hear. They never cared what you wanted to hear. So, have I just ruined the radio business for you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
It's nothing new.
That's why I came up with a slogan when I first went to San Francisco. I don't know if you were around that early for it, Brian, but when I was at KMEL, I had a slogan, and it was, "I don't take no requests."
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We had a billboard off the bridge of me going, "I don't take no requests." Because I just thought taking requests was the stupidest thing you could do.
No wonder you needed a bodyguard.
Yeah, well, yeah. Yeah, well, I had a rather negative personality. Is that how we would describe it? How would you describe it, Brian?
You were very mean. And I went to, geez, I don't know how many breakfasts with Bennett's I went to, and getting there before you guys opened, I'd be first in line.
Yeah.
And yeah, you were that guy. Not nice guy.
Well, but people didn't hate me.
No. At the shows, you were nice.
They liked me because I was. They liked me because I was belligerent. You know.
Yeah.
And they never really. What did I do that was mean to people? I didn't do anything mean to people, did I?
I think just your demeanor. You know how you sort of this is the way it is, and that kind of stuff.
Well, I would put people down, things like that. But
those are the type of people who need bodyguards.
That's why I needed a bodyguard.
Absolutely.
I went to your high school. Remember you did the one at Drake, right? Sir Francis Drake, right?
We did a show at Sir Francis Drake High School. Yeah.
In the gym, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I was there at that one.
But we had Monty Hoffman on that show, and he did something which the school got enraged about. I can't remember what it was now.
Oh, really?
But I got really mad at him because I said, this is my high school. How can you do this to me? Oh, I didn't know, man. And I think I banned him from the show for about 6 months after that.
I was front row with Bob Geldof when he sang I Don't Like Mondays. Remember? He was from the Boomtown Rats.
Yeah, but I don't remember him being on the show singing. But he was?
Yeah, he was. He
really?
was one of the Breakfast with Bennett's. Front row.
Wow. Because later on...
I wanted to see if you had pictures from back then, because be curious to see if when you take pictures of the audience, if I was right there.
Well,
you had some pictures from some of your shows.
The only time I remember having Geldof on was I had him on at Sirius XM. Now I may have had him on. A lot of times I would have people on those shows in San Francisco that I don't even remember they were on. Louis Black, when I had Louis Black on my show at Sirius XM, he said, "Well, you remember me, don't you?" And I went, "What?" He said, "I did your morning show in San Francisco." I said, "Oh, okay." I couldn't remember him. He said, "I don't blame you for not remembering me because I wasn't screaming and shouting back in those days." Okay, then I came up with the screaming, shouting thing. But occasionally there were people that I had on there that I didn't know I had on. I didn't know when I had Geldof on at Sirius XM the reason I remember Geldof at Sirius XM is because he had probably one of the most famous audio clips of anything that I've ever done with Bob Geldof. He did a promotion for me because what we did is I discussed with him, I said, I got a problem. I said, you guys in England call each other cunts. I said, it's not even used as an expression to say to a woman or about a woman. It's what one guy says to another. And they say, yeah, guys call each other cunts in England. Oh, you cunt, And please, folks, don't think I'm saying something about women here. I'm talking about guys. And so he did a promo for me that I had there saying that, Alex, this is Bob Geldof. And I just want to say, you're a real cunt. And that was my promo that I had for years that we would use on Sirius XM. But I remember that because we discussed that particular thing. I do not remember that he was on my show in San Francisco.
You have a lot of pictures in Petaluma still from Breakfast with Bennett?
No, it's not pictures that I have. I have a lot of tapes still there, and there's still some that have to still be sent to me by Damien if he ever gets around to them. And somewhere in all those tapes, which are very hard to go through, maybe the Boomtown Rats. Could very well be, but in any event.
Some of the DJs here that I remember, in the Bay Area, Dr. Don something or other.
Dr. Don Rose, yeah.
Yeah, Dr. Don. Jane Dornacher.
Well, Jane was a comedian.
She was doing a traffic report over the Potomac in the helicopter.
No, over the Hudson River in New York. And whose show was she doing it for?
Yeah.
Whose show was she doing it for? It crashed and she died.
Yep. I don't remember. It was in the 80s, I think, that it happened.
It was the Howard Stern show.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, it was a traffic. Well, I don't know.
Yeah, it was a traffic report for the Howard Stern show. She was Howard Stern's traffic reporter. So, it was kind of sad because she was a very nice lady and a very funny comic. And
I remember she was on one of the stations.
It was sad to see what happened, but no, it was one of those.
It's interesting. You need more than a helicopter to go down in a river like that, like the Potomac or something like that. They had a jet go off the runway, I guess, into the Potomac, and people were diving off of the bridge to save people.
Wow.
So for a helicopter, who cares?
Yeah.
When you got a passenger jet,
it
goes into it.
Yeah.
I don't know what airport's near that, but
right.
I'm not good with East Coast stuff.
Yeah.
But a passenger jet, they show people diving into freezing water to save people.
Yeah. Well, so and some of the people here don't even know about that part of my career, the San Francisco days. Some people do know about my New York career. I don't know. Do you remember, Tony, my New York career at all?
Actually, I don't because I was too young, but my cousins did listen to
you.
you.
What?
And
your
cousin Caroline.
Your brother remembers me.
My mother doesn't listen to the radio.
No, your brother, I said, not your mother.
My brother, I would say no. It was more my cousin Caroline, Marion. They were in the 70s, so they listened to your show.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they would have been there about in their early 60s.
Those were the days when you had two separate careers. You could do a career in New York and then move to San Francisco and completely change your act and do anything you wanted to and create a whole new reputation. Today, that isn't true. Today, you go syndicated and everybody hears you all over the country.
Tony go to yell at his mother again? Did Tony go to yell at his mother again?
I mean, he has a job. It's his job. He calls us from work.
He gets paid.
That looks like a dining room table that he sat at earlier.
No, the curtains look like the dining room table. I mean, is that not the most hideous wallpaper you've ever?
Absolutely. It's probably his mother probably handpicked it.
Oh, I'm sure she did.
Yeah.
I'm sure she did.
I don't know, the house that I'm living in, everything was turquoise. The lady that was living here liked turquoise. I mean, there was turquoise paint in the kitchen that I'm in. It took me 3 coats of white paint to cover the damn stuff.
Oh yeah.
The appliances were turquoise. Oh, it was in the 60s. It was when the house was built. That was that was the color: turquoise, avocado. Pink.
We just had a big question, Tony. Who picked out the wallpaper?
My mother. She's in the bathroom again. She doesn't sleep. I gave her PMs. She gets up. Alex, she still lives like it's the 60s.
Can I give you a hint of a little pill to get her? Oxycontin.
Oh, my brother's on it.
What?
You know why? Because of the tongue. They say if you feel the pain.
I think it's probably oxycodone.
Oh.
Okay, not Oxycontin.
Oh, I'm on the radio, ma. Who am I talking to? How does she hear
the radio?
When I talk to her before.
He's watching porn.
You're crazy talking to yourself.
Your son's watching porn.
What are you watching? An old movie? We watched Funny Girl tonight. This is what we did. She knows the whole movie backwards and forwards.
What movie?
Fanny Bryce. Funny Girl?
Funny Girl? Oh, you mean Barbara Streisand as Fanny Bryce.
All right, how can I help her out of the bed before she kills herself? I'm still on duty. I'm not even getting paid.
Don't let her kill yourself, man. That's your...
Yeah, if she dies, he's going to inherit that wallpaper is what's going to happen.
I've been having the kids watch Cosmos. Yeah, Charlie will like this. Yeah, we've been watching one episode of Cosmos every night.
And how do they like it?
The boy likes it a lot. I can tell.
Which one? The one that DeGrasse Tyson did? Yeah.
Yeah, not Carl Sagan.
Not Carl Sagan's. No, the new one's pretty good. I mean, it gets the science out there just as well as the originals did.
Yeah, and the girl likes it because it looks like Star Wars. They do a lot of the animation and, when he's flying through stuff and bodies and stuff like that. So, they have the stories really well. So it's really easy to follow and stuff. So, yeah, really like it. So they're watching one a night with me.
Yeah. So, well, that's good. That's nice family time during the COVID blight that we have going here. How are the kids doing with school in all of this?
Actually, they have finals this week. They're doing okay. They were doing better when they were going to school. They're doing like A's and B's now. They're straight A's before, but it's just.
They really should adjust the grading system for COVID. In other words, if they're not doing as well this year as they did last year, there should be an adjustment to that better grade, just simply because they just aren't able to do it as well.
Yeah, and then Adrian, she one problem we were having is they give a stack of probably about 30 different papers for her for 1 month. And then it's hard for her to find them, and it's hard for the other kids to stop what they're doing. But now they post every day what they're doing. So
let me ask a little political question. What do you think of some of Biden's choices for his cabinet? Well, I guess that answered it.
Pete Buttigieg. This guy goes from being a mayor to. He moved right up pretty quick. He's gay.
Yeah,
could be the first.
And I think he's very. I think he's very sharp.
He is very sharp.
And probably do the job perfectly. I like Buttigieg a lot. I just think he's. I think he's smart and he's informed and he's not pedantic about stuff. He's not like he's a liberal, but he's not going to slam it down your throat. He might slam something else down your throat, but not. I had to say that. I just had to say that. I'm sorry, folks, because
it's okay,
But I think if Pete were here, he would laugh too.
What? Who's he going to appoint for Attorney General? Hillary?
Well, everybody says he should do is Andrew Cuomo. Cuomo was an attorney general here in the state of New York.
I think Trump would have a heart attack if he appointed Hillary.
Well, I don't think Hillary would make a good attorney general.
Where?
I think I don't know what you would appoint her. I wouldn't appoint her to anything. Okay, no. She's had her time in the sun, and what she needs the job. Come on,
a lot of press.
But no, a lot of people were saying the prime choice for Attorney General is Andrew Cuomo, and he would be, except I don't think he wants to be. He loves being king of New York, He loves being the governor of New York. When you're the governor of New York, my God, you're the governor of maybe the third largest country in the world or something. So you're dealing with, you have a lot of power.
I think California's got New York beat. Sorry.
Got New York beat?
Yeah, California is the 6th largest economy in the world.
Yeah, which would make New York somewhere like the 7th or 8th.
Probably so. Although Texas is coming up pretty good.
Texas is going to come up with everybody moving there.
Yeah, but the thing is that before we're through, everybody in Texas, except for Charlie, is going to be dead. And the only reason Charlie ain't going to be dead is because he hasn't gone outside. What do you do about shopping, Charlie?
About once a week, once every 9 days, I'll go out to this grocery store and get supplies.
Okay.
What do you wear?
I wear a mask.
Now, do you have anything like do you have a sun deck or anything like that, or are you just stuck in that apartment?
No, I stay in the apartment. I've gone as long as 11 days without ever leaving my apartment.
Okay.
I have a 4-bedroom house. I've gone a week and a half in the house too. The house is set up for everything. I got, television, high-speed internet.
Yeah, I got my movies.
Absolutely.
You got his exercise bike, Alex.
Yeah, I get my
I got the exercise bike.
I have an exercise bike. It collects dust.
I used to have a joke. I have a stationary bike. It isn't supposed to be that way. But
both need to find 10 minutes of your day. Just 10 minutes.
Yeah. 10 minutes? I think what I'll do is I'm going to start doing 10 minutes a day. I'm going to do 10 minutes, 15 minutes a day.
Work your way up. Don't
Well, you say you only do 15, right, Charlie?
Yeah, but I didn't start out doing 15. I think I did like 2 minutes the first time.
Oh no, I can do 25 minutes on one of those bikes. I used to go down and do the stationary down at the gym. And
you pedal the bike too, Alex?
What?
When you're on it for 15 or 20 minutes, do you actually pedal?
No, I have somebody else do it for me. But
okay, good.
I feel the pain.
I just got a Max Trainer, it's called, by Bowflex. It's like I like the elliptical, and the gym's closed again, so I said screw it. So I still have my own gym in the garage, but it's like elliptical and a Stairmaster sort of in between. And so I've been doing that now.
Yes,
so.
Jeff, you had your hand up.
Yeah, I'm using equipment in the basement here.
Yeah. Okay. Good. By the way, anybody here have a Roku?
Oh, I do.
You do. Well, the Roku, which has been having a problem lately because HBO Max, which is really one of the biggest, most fulfilling of all the online services, is not on Roku until tomorrow. They finally made a deal.
Wow.
So as of tomorrow, you'll be able to put HBO Max on your Roku. But Roku, they were fighting for a while. They were, and I think to be honest with you, I think HBO won, is what happened. I think Roku folded, but that's just my opinion. I don't know. Anyway, there's the theme. It's been kind of nice, just a bunch of people just talking, enjoying themselves. Where have the rest of you been tonight? I don't care. I like Jeffrey, and I like our new friend Alan, who has joined the fray. And, of course, Charlie is always terrific. Brian, great having you here. And Tony, I love your wallpaper and your mother. Oh, it's the biggest comedy routine we have going on this show. Anyway, every one of you give a big wave goodbye, and I'll give a big wave goodbye as well. There they go, ladies and gentlemen. There. Okay, they are out of here, and I'm going to be out of here in a couple of seconds. What comes up next here on GabNet is The Intersection with Jack Bishop, and he will be here taking your calls at on Skype at GabNet Live. That's the you just put that in there and go GabNet Live, and then you ring that, and next thing you know, you're talking to Jack and his citizen panel. We'll be back again tomorrow night right here. Same time, same station in life. And as always, if you see her, tell her, I love her. Okay? Or as they say in New York, I love her. Okay. And in the meantime, please, be good to yourself. Be safe out there. Wear a mask. Be kind to each other. Okay? We'll see you later.